Sha Sha Higby's life as an artist is lived at the intersection of East and West, art and religion, sculpture and dance.
This one's been through many shows, but she just needs a little fluffing after she gets out of the suitcases.
Tonight she's performing at Somarts in San Francisco, along with the modern dance troupe Dance Naganuma.
And then she sheds, so then these guys come out, yeah? So you guys roll out and expand this.
This one's taken about 4 years to make, so it has all these component parts.
For Sha Sha, tonight's performance is little more than a snapshot of a process that has taken her years.
This one's pretty tailored to me at this point. When they're new is when they really stab you, because you don't know where the wires are coming in.
She spent most of that time constructing a one-of-a-kind costume of mesmerizing complexity and beauty.
But it shows really a dance of knots, dance of entanglement, dance of hooks. Well, that's how my philosophy is in life. You go along with an intention, but then you're hooked on to something else, and you just have to go with it. It's very meditative. I mean, if you aren't willing to sit still for an hour and just be very quiet and be with what's going on. In fact, I've known people who can't take it, you know.
I can say that Sha Sha's work is pretty unique. I mean, there's no one who's really doing quite the same thing. It's a real visual feast. It's really essentially a kind of abstract, at first, a kind of abstract sculpture. And you don't know really where it's going. And so there's a real surprise element.
Oh, I was wondering if you had any, glittery stuff, kind of mica.
Sha Sha's artistic journey began almost 4 decades ago, when her stepfather taught her how to sew.
I would sew, made all these little dolls, and then I took, I think, a year of art classes, and then I started to make sculptures. Then I wanted the sculptures to come alive and move, because I love to do dance.
Early on, Sha Sha was influenced by Japanese forms like Buto, the dance of darkness that emerged after World War II. She's also drawn extensively from the centuries-old tradition of Japanese No theater.
Went to Japan, and I saw how elaborate their sculptures are in the No theater. The No theater has beautiful brocades, and I wanted to make objects that were elegant when you came up close.
Over the years, Sha Sha was exposed to many different Asian cultures. She studied shadow puppetry in Indonesia, textile design in India, and she began to mix her own potent blend of influences.
What Sha Sha is doing is really inventing the ritual from the ground up. She's not relying on traditional formulas. She's using elements of traditional work, but her formal language is thoroughly contemporary.
Sha Sha makes each of her costumes by hand in her West Marin studio, adding layer after layer of texture and detail over the course of many months. Her techniques are often based on established crafts like No mask making, where as many as 50 layers of sap are applied to the same surface, creating a smooth lacquered finish.
And it makes this really pretty orange color and this dark brown color.
For Sha Sha, the costumes transform over time, assuming multiple identities, sometimes male, sometimes female, sometimes both.
No, I would open this. It was around my neck, and then I would open this character. But he has to be developed.
It's as if she's bringing these inert sculptures to life, investing them with her own history and experiences.
They're alive. They have a personality. I talk to them. They kind of change. I told the little girl the other night that she had to talk to her mask, and she said, "Oh, come on, that's stupid." I said, "Oh no, you've got to talk to her," because he was been performing for 4 nights and getting kind of tired out, and you'll have a better relationship to them if you talk to them.
Are you going to bring the gongs to the show?
That's a good idea.
And we could use the gongs and those Japanese instruments you have, the clangers, the wooden ones.
Sha Sha has performed hundreds of times all over the world, often with the help of her husband, Albert.
Well, good luck. Who does the cooking?
Well, I prefer to, and then I know what I'm getting. But she's a good cook. She's just very spontaneous. I keep thinking of the story of when she put the coins in the muffins for some friends and forgot to tell them.
Oh, come on, don't do the story. No, I didn't. I did tell them.
Nobody had to go to the dentist, but it's still like, you know.
No, they were little plastic toys. Little, not coins.
I think we have to make some sort of division between, you know.
It's in the, Albert keeps me.
Grounded?
Because I'm always in the air thinking of different things.
Well, we need people like you.
Yeah, we need people like you.
Yeah.
Because you do the lights and the photography.
Yes, that's true, I do.
So this is where we will take our pictures in this kitchen.
Focusing on self-preservation, that's all, you see, and there's a certain parameter that I need, and I don't want to impose it on anyone else, of course. But.
Albert and Sha Sha are preparing for a solo performance tonight in honor of the winter solstice at a friend's house in nearby Inverness.
It's the solstice, for one thing, and her very first performance 25 years ago was the solstice. And this one, it's really honoring the season and the need to go within and to be quiet. And
in creating her own ritual dance practices, Sha Sha's work harkens back to ancient times. Like a shaman, she conjures up magical images and reveals the invisible.
Sha Sha works in many dimensions, and this is literally embodied in the costume. I mean, you can look at the costume as a kind of three-dimensional extension of the body, and or a kind of living sculpture. And this living sculpture changes every time a layer is removed. So you have a different visual experience as the performance progresses.
That's what fascinates me is layers. Because the air is filled with lots of layers that you can't see, and that's what I'm trying to create with this costume, put it into hard form, so to speak, the hard copy of what that you can't see in the air, but is this very thick web network that we're moving through all the time.